Hello students. So our next concept is about collenchyma. Collenchyma is one of the types of simple permanent tissue. It's one of the types of simple permanent tissue. Already in our previous class we have studied about parenchyma, and this is collenchyma, which is the second type of simple permanent tissue. In this class we will see about this collenchyma and how collenchyma is useful in plant body. Okay, coming to collenchyma, these cells are having thickened walls at the corners. Suppose you see the thickened walls of the collenchyma cells enable them to provide additional support to the areas where they are found. So wherever they are found in the plant body, this collenchyma tissue main function is to giving additional support to the plant body. So why this additional support is required? Definitely additional support is required, or mechanical support is required to the plant body. Suppose assume a case or assume a situation during a heavy cyclone time or wind storms time. What happens? This longer trees or plants like palm trees or coconut trees, if you see, just they bend but they don't break. They have that flexibility. That flexibility can be provided by this collenchyma tissue. Because of collenchyma tissue, plants cannot break but they can bend. So complete flexibility and mechanical support can be provided by this collenchyma tissue. Even collenchyma is located in the stem parts and leaf stalks of the plant. Most notably, collenchyma cells serve growing parts of the plant such as shoots and leaves, both by providing support and by filling the vacant spaces that will be used for lateral growth. So this is the location where the collenchyma is located, especially in the shoots and leaves of the plant body, which provides mechanical support and flexibility to the plant body. Coming to the major function of this collenchyma, flexibility in plants is due to another permanent tissue, that is nothing but this collenchyma. It allows easy bending in various parts of plant such as leaves and stem. Already I discussed you, right? Trees like coconut, palm, during heavy storms time, heavy wind blows time, just they bend but they don't break. Most probably they don't break. That is because of this flexible tissue known as collenchyma. So how our vertebral column gives flexibility to our body, how flexibility is the same way this collenchyma also flexible in plant body, which supports without breaking the stem part and the leaves. Because leaves also you have observed, right? Leaf stalks are there. Leaf stalks, because of the wind movement, according to the wind direction, just they can move but they don't break. Leaves are not breaking and they are not leaving from the plant body, because the leaf stalks and the petioles or the pedicels of the flowers, these all are made up of collenchyma tissue, and it also provides mechanical support to the plant. We can find this tissue in leaf stalks. So this is the location of this tissue. You can check here where we can see them. We can see them in the leaf stalks below the epidermis. The cells of this tissue are living, elongated and irregularly thickened at the corners. There is very little intercellular spaces. This is the structural design of the collenchyma. You can see here, these are the structural design of the collenchyma. How they are arranged? The cells of the tissue are living, elongated, irregularly thickened at the corners. Okay, this is the characteristic of collenchyma. Definitely collenchyma tissues are living, they are not dead, they are living, and they are elongated, means the cell structure, if you observe, longer, they are the longer and elongated tubule-like structure and irregularly thickened at the corner. Suppose one cell and other cell are grouped like a tissue, it is formed, especially at the corners of the cell, thickness is deposited, and that thickness is nothing but pectins and hemicellulose components. There is a very little intercellular space. You remember, right? Parenchyma case, we have studied that parenchyma is having more intercellular spaces. but this collenchyma is having less intercellular spaces, or moderately the space will be. Okay, space is very moderate in nature. Now coming to the structure of this collenchyma tissue, you can check this collenchyma tissue. This is the shape of the collenchyma. I already told you they have very less intercellular spaces, means gap between one cell to another cell is very less. That is most probably we can't observe also with the, even with the microscope it's difficult to check that gap between one cell to another cell, and they are irregularly thickened at the corners. What is this irregularly thickened at the corner? This area, this location, if you see, this is irregularly thickened at the corner because this is one cell and this is another cell. One cell, another cell, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 cells are represented in this picture. One cell is in contact with other cell. There is the corner areas are thickened. Not the entire or the completely the cell wall is not thickened. Okay? In cell wall some of the areas are thickened. Remaining areas are thin in nature. Have you remembered in parenchyma we have studied that parenchyma cell walls are thin in nature. But coming to collenchyma, irregularly thickened. Some areas of this cell wall is thickened. These areas are thickened, and some areas like these are not thickened. They are thin in nature. Okay. So that is the structure. That is the structure of collenchyma, structural design you can see. What is the one more thing we have discussed, that they have very less intercellular spaces. I'm not telling you that they don't have, they have, but very less in nature. Intercellular spaces are very less in nature. Okay. Next one. Coming to characteristics of this collenchyma. They are polygonal in shape and elongated, that already we discussed. End of cell wall may be tapered. Cells are closely packed together with very small or no intercellular spaces. Even this point we have discussed. The cell wall are evenly thickened with the deposits of cellulose, pectin and hemicellulose. Have you checked this one? They are unevenly thickened. They are not completely thickened in all directions of the cell wall. Only in the particular areas they are thickened. Okay, at the corners. And what is the substance known as? This yellow color substance is representing, no? That substance is made up of cellulose, pectin and hemicellulose. So these are the components present in this thickening materials. Remember, cellulose, pectin and hemicellulose. So cellulose, already you know that cellulose is a substance which is present in the cell wall. Same way, some amount of cellulose. Pectin is a type of complex carbohydrates. Even hemicellulose also present in these areas. Thickening usually occurs at corners of the cell wall. Pits are present in the walls. Pits means like narrow areas we can see in this wall areas. Okay, so that those are the characteristics of this collenchyma. Okay, that is about collenchyma. Coming to next or another simple permanent tissue, that is known as sclerenchyma. Try to pronounce it, sclerenchyma. This is another simple permanent tissue, that is sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma is not like parenchyma or else collenchyma. Sclerenchyma is dead tissue, or they are made up of dead cells, and their main function is giving utmost protection and support to this plant body. Okay, coming to sclerenchyma, these are the characteristics of sclerenchyma. We can see this is another type of permanent tissue. It is the tissue which makes the plant hard and stiff. So why it is necessary? Why should the plant be hard and stiff? Definitely because when plant stay in extreme environmental conditions, extreme cold, extreme rainfall, extreme heat, because of that it should be hard in nature, it should be stiff in nature. So that can be provided because of sclerenchyma tissue. We have seen the husk of coconut, right? Everyone familiar with that husk of the coconut. We remove that, after that we break the coconut, right? So this husk of the coconut consists of sclerenchyma. Okay, sclerenchyma tissue or the sclerenchyma type of cells are located at the husk of the coconut. This is one of the example, remember. Even outer layer of the almonds, some type of nuts are having this sclerenchyma. Almond nuts, you all are familiar with that, right? You can soak the almond, and when you peel that almond outer layer, you can observe that peel of the almond, that is nothing but sclerenchyma, that is made up of sclerenchyma type of tissue. It is made for sclerenchymatous tissue. The cells of the tissue are dead. Already I told you they are dead because their main function is to give mechanical support as well as stiffness and hardness to the plant body, some of the parts of the plant body. And they are long and narrow as the walls are thickened due to lignin. So now you remember here, completely throughout the cell wall there are the thick depositions are present. The thick depositions are made up of this substance known as lignin. The substance is known as lignin. Okay, a chemical substance which acts as a cement and hardens them. So what is the function of lignin and what is the nature of lignin? It acts as a cement. How cement can seize or hardens the walls, right? During plastering time we use the cement. How cement can harden the wall? Same way, because of the lignin substance, this is also a type of complex carbohydrate. Because of the lignin substance, the cell walls become very hard in nature. Why it should be hard? Because the main function of the sclerenchyma is providing hardness and stiffness to the plant body. Often these walls are so thick that there are no intercellular spaces. Have you understood? Because of this thickness, definitely there is no gap between one cell to another cell. There is no space between one cell to another cell. So intercellular spaces are very less. Along with that, internal space inside the cell also can be filled because of this lignin, that we'll see in the next slide. Okay, this tissue is present in stems, around vascular bundles, in the veins of leaves, and in the hard coverings of seeds and nuts. It provides strength to the plant parts. Have you understood where is the location? What is the location of these tissues, sclerenchyma tissues? It's located in the stem parts, around vascular bundles. Vascular bundles, already you know this, vascular bundles are nothing but xylem and phloem. Around the xylem and phloem they are located. Even they are located in the veins of the leaves and in the hard coverings of the seeds and nuts, like almond I give an example. So there they can be located. It provides strength to the plant parts. Now we'll see how lignin is deposited in the cell. Okay, cell structure we can see. Suppose you see this is the simple tissue, which is another type of simple permanent tissue, that is sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma cells, if you see, they are elongated in nature, and cell wall, this is the cell wall, completely is deposited with lignin. How's the structure you see? This pink color area is indicating, actually this is the microscopic structure. It is indicating that they are filled with lignin substance. It acts as a hard cementing substance which makes the cells hard enough. Okay, because of this lignin substance, even this space inside the cell also can be filled. Okay, very narrow gap is present inside the cell. Already I told you they are dead cells. Because of that, there is no presence of protoplasm. No presence of protoplasm. Protoplasm is nothing but cytoplasm and nucleoplasm. Means any liquid substance or water substance is not present inside the cell. Okay, cells are almost closed or almost packed with this lignin substance. That much hard they are. Okay, actually sclerenchyma is two types. There are fibers and sclerites. Okay, fiber structure is like that. Sclerites, if you see, this structure is in such a way. Clear? Even in the sclerite structure also, space inside the cell is very less. You can check almost with the lignin. This pink color area is indicating the lignin depositions. Pink color area is indicating the lignin deposition. Because of this lignin deposition, inside the space, inside the cell, the space is very less. Definitely intercellular space will not be there, means any adjacent cell is located here. Suppose you think there is an adjacent cell, there is an adjacent cell to this, definitely there will be no gap between one cell to another cell. Gaps will not be there. Understood? Why gaps are not there? That's because of lignin depositions. That is because of the lignin depositions. Okay. Now we will see how all these are arranged and some of the characteristics of sclerenchyma tissue. Sclerenchyma tissues, if you see the structure, cells are dead and have lignified secondary cell walls. They have lignified secondary cell walls. Sclerates have strong walls which fill nearly the entire volume of the cell. Suppose you see the entire volume of the cell is filled with the lignin, and this is the structure of the sclerate. About sclerate it is explained, right? This is the structure of the sclerate. Coming to the function, this provides mechanical strength and structural support. Both fibers and sclerates together provide mechanical strength and structural support. Already we discussed, no? Sclerenchyma main function is to provide hardness and stiffness to the plant body. The lignin provides a wire-like strength to prevent from tearing too easily. Means, you know, coconut husk, if you see how hard it is to remove. Same way, if you don't soak the almond nuts, then peeling the layer, outer layer or the covering of this nuts also very difficult. When it will become easy? When you soak them, right? So generally it's difficult to peel that one. So why it is difficult? Because of the lignin presence. They provide the hardness of fruits like pears. These structures are used to protect other cells. Another important thing here you should remember, some type of sclerenchyma tissues or sclerenchyma cells are present in crunchy fruits. So fruits which are crunchy in nature, in that also some amount of sclerenchyma is present. Pear, you know, pear is how hard to bite. So the crunchy sound you can feel. Even in apple also we feel the crunchiness, right? Carrot, when you bite the carrot or when you bite radish, during the time you can feel that crunchy sound. That is because of this sclerenchyma. So they provide hardness of fruits like pear. These structures are used to protect other cells also. That is about sclerenchyma. Okay. So this is the magnifying view of the sclerenchyma tissue. You can once you can check this, 1 cell, 2, 3, 4, 5, many cells, and it's a group of cells, that is tissue. And there is no intercellular spaces you can check. They are tightly packed. Because of that, they provide hardness and stiffness to the plant body. Okay, that is about sclerenchyma tissue. So we have discussed about collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Collenchyma main functioning is flexibility and providing support. Sclerenchyma is to provide some amount of mechanical support, making the plant stiff and hard. Not the entire plant, some parts of the plant to make stiff and hard sclerenchyma tissue is useful. So another type of permanent tissue is there that we should study, that is about epidermis. So we will go to discuss about that. Coming to epidermis. Okay. So before starting about epidermis, let me ask one question. What is the main organ in our body which covers entire your body? Which organ of your body covers the entire body? Which organ covers entire your body? Exactly, your skin. Same way, plants also having epidermis, and epidermis acts as skin to the plant body. So have you understood what is the location of the epidermis? Exactly. Throughout the plant body we can observe this epidermis. And how our skin protects our body, same way this single cell thickened epidermis protects the plant body. Single cell thickened epidermis protects the plant body. So to observe this epidermis in plant body, we need to perform an activity which is given in your textbook. Okay, we need to perform this activity. If possible, definitely we will perform this one. Once check this activity, take a freshly plucked leaf of Rio. Rio leaf is nothing but this is a scientific name of the plant. Very tender, smooth leaves. This plant is having very tender and smooth leaves. Okay, pluck a fresh leaf of the Rio. Stretch and break it by applying pressure. So when you break this one and stretch this leaf, then it becomes into pieces, right? While breaking it, keep it stretched gently so that some peel or skin projects out from the cut. Have you understood how to peel that? Exactly. When you are peeling your skin, so suppose the outer layers of the skin, sometimes it comes because of the heat presence in your body. Some layers of the skin comes on your hand area. Have you observed that anytime? Yeah, definitely. In the same way, external layer which is present on the leaf has to be peeled out. That is very transparent in color. Remember, the epidermis appears transparent in color. Exactly, the outer layer of the leaf should be peeled. Remove this peel and put it in a petri dish which is filled with water. You have to keep it in a petri dish which is filled with the water. Petri dish is nothing but a dish like structure. Okay, a small cup like structure which is filled with water. Into that you have to transfer this peel. Why should we immediately transfer the peel? Otherwise the cells of the peel may dehydrate. The cells of the peel may dehydrate. To avoid that, immediately you have to transfer that into the water. Now add few drops of safranin. Have you remembered what is safranin? Exactly, it is a stain, coloring substance. When you add the safranin to that water, cell organelles present in the peel can absorb this safranin. And safranin color, have you remembered? We already discussed about it. Right, orange color, reddish orange color it will be. Okay, wait for a couple of minutes and then transfer it onto a slide. Gently place a cover slip over it. Okay, before doing this cover slip, covering with the cover slip, we can use blotting paper and remove the excess water if it is present on the slide. Okay, after that definitely you have to cover with the cover slip. Why should we cover the slide or the specimen with cover slip? To avoid any air bubble formation. At the same time, when you are adjusting your microscope, there is a chance of in contacting with the specimen. Microscope lens may come in contact with the specimen. To avoid that, we should cover that with the cover slip. Now you observe under microscope. So what you can observe under microscope? So here is the structure we'll observe. Okay, almost the similar structure we'll observe under microscope. But these are areas we can observe in the pink color area, pink color. Because safranin strain as we used, the structures we can observe in the pink color. So this is the epidermal cell. Okay, epidermal cell. So which part we have taken from the plant? Leaf. So this epidermis is always single layer thickness, single cell layer thickness. So here one more cell will not be there. As a beads of chain, check this one, as a beads of chain, entire epidermis is single cell thickened. One more cell layer will not be there. It's a single layer thickness. It is with a single layer thickness. Okay, and this is the structure. We can observe this one. This can be observed. Okay, like this it appears. Clear? This is the epidermis. So here you get doubt. What is this? What is this structure? So as it is on the leaf, part, definitely as it is on the leaf part, these are the stomata. So these are the stomata areas. Okay, and these are the guard cells. You already aware of it, right? Stomatas are the opening pores which are present on the leaf surface. Stomatas are the opening pores which are present on the leaf surface, right? And they are protected with this kidney shaped cells. They are known as God cells. They are known as the God cells. Okay. Now you see this epidermis. What you observe is the outermost layer of the cells called epidermis. The epidermis is usually made of a single layer of cells. Already I told you, the entire epidermis, if you see, that is made up of single layer of cells. In some plants which are living in very dry habitats, the epidermis may be thicker since protection against water loss is critical. The entire surface of the plant has this outer covering of epidermis, and it protects all the parts of the plant. Epidermal cells on the aerial parts of the plant often secrete a waxy substance that is known as cuticle. Now you see this structure. Epidermal cells on the aerial parts of the plant often secrete a waxy water resistant layer on their outer surface. This aids in protection against loss of water, mechanical injury, and invasion by parasitic fungi. Since it is a protective role to play, cells of epidermal tissues form a continuous layer without intercellular spaces. Okay, most epidermal cells are relatively flat. Often their outer and side walls are thicker than the inner walls. Okay. So let me explain what it means. Suppose you see this structure. I already told you this all the plant parts are having this epidermis. Same like how we have our skin, same way throughout the plant body this epidermis is located. Right? Suppose you see on the root area, also epidermis is located like this. Okay, and this is the electronic microscope view of the leaf part, where these are the opening pores are known as stomata, and they are covered or protected with the kidney shaped guard cells. These are the kidney shaped guard cells. Okay, even here you can check this structure, kidney shaped guard cell structure, you can check. Is it clear? Okay. And this picture, this structure, if you see, definitely they are covered with, or they are adjacent with the epidermal cells. So detailed discussion of this epidermis we will see in our next class. Okay.